Hello and welcome back to the kitchen couch. We saved you a seat, and today we're going to be speaking about Solo Leveling Season 2, Episode 5. This is what we trained for. Now, this will be our first official anime review and solo leveling review. We're huge fans of anime here at Kitchen Couch. And so this is the first one. And so we're just going to get started. We're going to talk about what led up to it, what kind of happened throughout the episode, and then our predictions for what's going to happen next. So we'll just get started. Our goat, Sung Jin Woo, he was about to gank that boss. He was walking up. He was about to walk in and absolutely destroy that thing. And then he was stopped by Ms. Cha, Mommy Cha, as some people on the internet call her. And he was immediately turned around and he walked off, unfortunately. But before that, they did get a moment together, and they did. And Ms. Cha, she's a five-tool player. I mean, beautiful, smart, strong, charismatic, interesting, interested. She is. And she's got this funky little smell thing that, like, she can smell evil on people or something. I think that's kind of what's happening here, or the underlying subtext for what that is. But she meets him and she's in. I mean, she gets obsessed a little bit, actually. It's a little bit funny. I get a bunch of people are obsessed. Our goat, our goat's got some. He's got some BDE for sure. And so they finally get together. They finally meet for the first time, and he decides not to gank that boss while she's there. So he leaves. The mining crew pays him some money, and they offer him a job, and he turns them down reluctantly. And then he gets offered another day's work, which is just the next day. There's an opportunity. Their guild is doing two raids, and so he decides to jump in on the action and do a little bit more mining. It rolls through some things with the miners. It rolls through some things with Ms. Cha. It rolls through a bunch of other things, and it's just to help expand the world. To be honest with you, it's not action packed or anything. It's just to sort of highlight other characters, other situations, what else is happening within the world of solo leveling. But by the time he gets to the next day, he's done some mining work, and everybody kind of wants to hang out with Sung Jinwoo, and he's doing his thing. The captain, the leader of this specific dungeon raid, comes up and says, "Hey, we need someone to carry our bags," and nobody else wants to. No one else wants to commit to possibly dying. But our goat, he's like, "Nah, I got you. I'll carry your bags for you." And they're all like, "Oh, what? He's E ranked," and he's like, "Nah, I got you." BDE steps up again, just cool, calm, collected, the man. So they go into this dungeon and they're all talking to him and hyping him up and letting him know that he'll be fine, that this is what we do, and blah, blah, blah. And this is a newer iteration of dungeon pursuer people that we kind of see. These people seem kind. They seem nice. They seem like they know what they're doing. They're hip to what's going on, and they work together. And so it's a little bit different than the experience that we've had with previous dungeon goers, which I kind of like. Let's expand the world a little bit more. We don't want to just see terrible people in dungeons. We like to see good people in dungeons. But the first pack they run into is a couple of, I think they call them dungeon jackals, and they destroy them with relative ease. But they do notice that they're a little more powerful than they should be. And Sung Jin Woo notices that one of them has a collar on them, or they have collars on them, which means that they are owned, which means there's something else deeper that's more powerful than these animals. Right? That's the point of that whole line, I think. So then they keep on going through the dungeon, and they run up against your pretty standard fantasy orcs, massive, strong, and without warning, they attack each other. You've got your team of A ranked and B ranked hunters against these orcs, and while they do hang with the orcs for a minute, it falls off a cliff pretty quick, and our guy Sung has to jump in pretty fast. But he still wants to conceal his identity. He still doesn't want to get his dudes wiped out, and he also doesn't want these people to know exactly who he is. So he just CCs the entire time while he's like in invis mode. He makes them slower by cutting them in specific places and doing some things. He also unalives one of the orcs in a pretty gruesome and awesome way. Look forward to that. That was cool. That was a cool moment. When he's finished, they're able to destroy the rest of the orcs, and the dungeon party then deliberates together on whether or not they should stay in this dungeon because they figured it was luck for the most part. One of the mages notes that how, of course, it was Sung Jin Woo who helped us. Like, how could we not notice? We're not that weak. But they deliberate and they decide that they're going to leave the dungeon. As they're leaving, though, a barrier pops up, and then about 50 or 25 orcs will roll up, and they're like, "Oh, we don't have the dudes for this." And so the head orc, one of the bigger orcs, walks up to the captain, the lieutenant, younger guy, first mission. He goes, he gets possessed first, but then he's like, "You're either gonna come and talk to me. I'm the boss. I'm possessing this person, or my soldiers are just going to unalive you." And so he does. He says, "Hey, yeah, we'll go." And so he as the orcs turn around and walk back towards the boss, he turns to Sung Jin Woo, the leader of the raid party, and he says, "Sung, here's the deal. We're gonna jump that boss. We're gonna jump him. All of us, same time. We can't let them out of here. We need you to leave and let everyone know what happened here, including the rest of the guild, so they can come and wipe this out because we can't take this." And there's this really sentimental moment with one of the mages where she hands him his will or her will and testament so that her family can see it. And Sung Jin Woo just casually is like, I hope we don't have to use this. I'll hold on to it though. We're good. It's just he's the man. He's a goat. So they start walking, and the perspective changes back to Cha, and it's later in the evening, of course, and she's looking for Sung Jin Woo with the rest of the miners, and the miners are like, "Nah, he went into the dungeon with that raid. He's carrying their bags," and she's like, "Oh, oh no!" Right? Because she knows there's something weird happening. And then as they're walking through the dungeon, they come into a big, big room, and there's like hundreds of orcs that are standing around, and they're kind of just waiting. And they're walking up to this boss, and this boss looks so menacing, and he can't wait to see these humans. And these dudes are in trouble. They're surrounded by people who are quite a bit more powerful than them. And that's the cliffhanger. You see the boss there, and that's the cliffhanger. So it's going to be crazy. I mean, these last two episodes have been world building. They've been trying to include other characters that have things going on in the future. There's going to be connections that are built, which I'm excited about because that was the one thing I think was missing from Solo Leveling. But I'm excited. This next episode is going to be. I hope it's action packed. I hope it's a great time, honestly. So look for that. We'll be doing another review. Hopefully soon. We're also doing a few other reviews on the channel. Feel free to like, subscribe. Tell me what you think's going to happen. I'd love to hear it. Even if you're a manga reader, whatever the case may be, we'd love to see it. And until next time, see ya.